So this isn't it. Oh my goodness. So I did a video not too long ago talking about Zohran Mamdani's win and how this is a reflection on the lessening of the impact of the black vote, right? How we're essentially become politically extinct. This is a video that I did not too long ago. Before that video, talking about, how black people are going to become extinct based off the Dr. Claude Anderson, based off the demographics, and how we're slowly being forced out, right? That our voting power is becoming next to none.
Damn.
That being said, people were like, oh, it's not going to happen. Black vote will always be important, yada, 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 yada. How I see that is nothing more than cope, right? That's what I see that as. You can say a bunch of stuff, but if everyone is showing you that that's not the case, then it doesn't matter what you believe. You have intrinsic value to the vote. But if it holds no actual value in reality, then you have no value. Then you are, in essence, extinct.
Come on now, dawg.
He won without a significant portion of the black vote. Now, that in of itself, right, in a bubble, it's not a big deal. But the question being, right, the question that people should be asking themselves, is this a strategy that will be adopted and taken on by the Democrat Party as a whole moving forward, where you don't put enough emphasis on black voters and you see if you can get voters in the Latino population, right? You see you can get more voters in the white population. If you see you can get more voters in the Asian population, where you substitute the black vote for other bigger demographics. That's what you have to be thinking about.
He's out of line. But he's right.
And upon that being the strategy, then it's game over. This is something that we even saw with Kamala Harris's campaign. The heads of her campaign, white women, white liberal women, chose to go to black media at the end of her campaign. That's what she did. They chose to do that, I think, like a month out from voting, okay, if not weeks. That's what they chose to do because they felt apparently that the black vote wasn't worth it. It wasn't worth the money.
Come on, man.
If that's what happened and she lost, but if you look at how she lost by, very, very finite margins, bro. Very slim margins. And she only did that for what, about 6 months tops? So you have to understand if the wheel is turning over there at the DNC, they're thinking, hey, we almost won this election without any black outreach, bro. We didn't have to go to Roland Martin. We didn't have to go to NABJ. We didn't have to go to any of these black places until like the end of the campaign. They didn't show out in what we needed, but they still came. So what if we focus more attention on other groups that are up and coming, such as the Latino population? That's what you have to be thinking about, because when that happens, and it definitely will happen, I'm telling you, that's what it will happen, then it's game over. It's night-night. See you later, okay? You can kiss reparations, all that goodbye.
Damn.
Nevertheless, this goes to Zohran. So I put that video and someone, added me of Zohran's speech. And Zohran's doing a speech in Harlem, right? Majority black area. And I'm like, okay, maybe this is a win. And the thing is, I watched the speech. And bruh, let me just say this ain't it, bruh. Okay, you can like Zohran all you want. This is not it, fam. I don't know what to tell you. If this is not an L, then you're confused, okay? Because I watched the speech and he's speaking to black people in the typical stereotypical way, bruh. It just is what it is. And what I mean by that is that it's usually a mention of a Bible verse, and then it's a mention of a black civil rights person, right? Or a slave, okay? It's either Frederick Douglass or Martin Luther King. Those are the two people that these individuals know of black American history, of American history. Those are the people they go to. And sure enough, as sure enough, bro, Zohran mentions a Bible verse.
And I think about Psalm 35. Which tells us, weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning.
Now, this is something that I talked about in the last video, where it's like a lot of black people have been conditioned, especially a lot of the elder group of people. They are conditioned to the Bible. And unfortunately, their understanding of the Bible and many interpretations is garbage, okay? It's absolute garbage. But nevertheless, no one cares about that. It's just the Bible. It's the fact that you mention the Bible. It's the reason why Trump holds up the Bible, because he knows that, the majority of the country is Christian, quote unquote, but he knows there's a strong base there. So if he can resonate with them, virtue signal for them, like, hey, look, I'm holding up the Bible, then it's a W. Same thing happens with Zohran mentioning the scripture, bruh. Let me just say, I'm not saying that he did this in bad faith or ill intent. I'm not saying that. He could very well say this because he believes, in the Bible verses and whoop-de-whoop, 100%, by all means. Okay, from my understanding, Muslims treat Jesus with more respect than those who practice Judaism. From my understanding, that could be wrong as well. Nevertheless, he mentioned the Bible verse. Then he goes to the MLK quote.
When I heard many tell me, wait, now is not the moment. Now is not the time. There are others. I thought of the words of Dr. King.
Come on now, dog.
and that's, I don't know, those are just two red flags for me, bro. Those are just two red flags. Now, he mentions nothing having to do with Black Americans. Now, it's very general. Don't get me wrong. It's very, very general. But I don't live in Harlem. I don't live in NYC. I don't know if there are actually issues that the Black community in those areas are dealing with that need to be addressed, okay? And if they're not, if there's no issues, particularly exclusive to the Black community in those areas, then so be it. Then the speech was great.
Who in 1968 went to Memphis, and he gave a speech called All Labor Has Dignity. And he said then what we say now. Now is the time. Get the word across to everybody in power, in this time, in this town, that now is the time to make real the promises of democracy. Now is the time to make an adequate income a reality for all of God's children. Now is the time for City Hall to take a position for that which is just and honest. Now is the time for justice to roll like water and righteousness like a mighty stream. Now is the time.
Okay, because he's talking about how, people don't recognize New York anymore, and that we want to make New York better for everyone, and that he's the candidate that will listen to people and, do what he says and yada, 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 the spiel. And if that's the case, then so be it. But if Black Americans or Black people, whether they're immigrants or not, if they have issues that are exclusive to them in the areas in which they reside, I didn't hear anything about him addressing that. Now, given that you have Reverend Al Sharpton, okay, there, that is his job to relay that to Zohran. And that is the Black community's job in New York, in Harlem, to relay that to Al Sharpton so he can relay that to Zohran. So if any point of that communication is broken, if that communication line is broken, then you up the creek without a paddle. Then it's game over. So I can't fault Zohran for not knowing what the Black community's issues are, okay? Because he's not Black. It just is what it is.
He's out of line, but he's right.
So if there's not someone, a mediator, telling him, hey, this is what we're looking for, this is what we need, yada, 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 then it is what it is. So people should be getting on Al Sharpton's butt so that he can properly represent the people of Harlem, so that he can properly represent the needs of the Black community. If there are, if there aren't, then so be it. This is great. C'est la vie. It is what it is. I'm just saying that I've seen this before with other candidates where it's this very milquetoast, bland speech, and they dress it up with a Bible verse and then MLK or something. That's what I've seen. I'm not saying that this is necessarily the case, but this really isn't a W for me. I don't know about y'all, but to me, this isn't a W at all, right? This seems more so of a speech to a group of people with feigning power, right? This seems more of a farewell speech, if we're going to be honest. This is not a speech that you give to people who have power. I've never seen a very a soft-spoken speech like this, very vague, very nebulous speech about, the promises and what he looks to accomplish with any other group of people. I didn't see this when it came to what was it, Pastor Warnick did with the Asian community. I didn't see that.
Deeply honored by the invitation and by the enthusiasm that I feel and the sense of connection that I feel with my Korean sisters and brothers.
What? I haven't seen this with the Jewish community. I haven't seen this with any other community. So I'm just saying, listen, you get what you want. If this is what you want, then this is what you get. You get treated how you want to get treated, okay? If you find it acceptable for someone to speak at you in a certain way and you don't do anything, there's no repercussions, and so be it. You're training that person that this is acceptable rhetoric, okay? This is an acceptable way to handle this community, all right? Because there's not any pushback. And we all know the squeaky wheel gets the oil. And if all it takes for the squeaky wheel to stop being squeaky is not even oil, it's just for it to say, hey, I hear you, squeaky wheel. You need to stop being squeaky, but I hear you. That's it. Then you don't get oil, bruh. That's my 2 cents on it. Anyways, guys, that's the video. Let me know what you guys think. Whether or not Lucas Zohran, you're getting it wrong, okay? He is great, and what he mentions is exactly what black people in New York need, 100%. Or if you don't believe, I don't know, man. I don't know. This sounded like the same old that I've heard from everyone who addresses the black community. Okay, and if that's what y'all want, that's what y'all get. I'm just letting y'all know that is a path to extinction. That's where we're headed. And if you look around when it comes to gentrification, if it comes to black Americans moving out of New York and all that, you're getting pushed out to the outskirts of the country. That is extinction, just so we're clear. Nevertheless, if you happen to disagree, you know where to find me Thursday through Saturday, disagreement day. You call in and we duke it out. Otherwise, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please feel free to like, share, comment. Let me know what you guys think about this analysis. If I'm off, if I'm right on, I don't know. And subscribe and all that fun stuff. Till next time, guys, be amazing.
I thought of the words of Dr. King.